Hello everyone, Omeza here. Today I'm going to actually help you to actually add horizontal and vertical scroll bar to your Excel report or dashboard. Now this is how to do it better. Now if you look at what we have right here is a very nice report that we've just created, and it has a lot of insight. Now let me just take you to where we have the rough data. So I call it rough because this report is not readable. So what we have right here is actually a pivot table that help us to create this, but too large to be read. What can we do to actually have this read is for you to use horizontal scroll bar, just like what we have right here. So with this we can actually able to read through this. So we're actually showing data 1 week per view. Just like if I go right here, I can change this to 1. So if I hit enter, so I have from 1st of January down to the 7th of January. So we are seeing 1 week data right now. So what we can see right now is from 2017 down to 2021, which is 5 years of data, right? So right now we're showing it on a daily basis. So if you look at what we have right here, we are having percentage attributed to every single day, and we can show the changes of the percentage, which is from 1st of January down to the 2nd of January. There is just 5.2% change, and here we have 4.7% change, and it went down by 1.0% change right here. So if we go right here, we're seeing the change between 2018 to 2017 or 2017 to 2018 whatsoever, and now the change is just 6.0, 8.8, 14.3 and all of that. So we're trying to actually extract the mean and the max sales so that it could be very easy for us, and we are seeing it every single time we make a change. We see these changes, and as well the percentage change as well, and the year as well is going to change. If I keep scrolling, you can see the year will definitely change to some other year that will have a minimum or a maximum sales. This is how we can actually generate report in Excel to be readable instead of we having just this. So this is the horizontal aspect of it. So we're going to be creating this from the scratch. Now let us look at the vertical aspect of it. Vertically we have this. We have over 600 rows of data right here, and just 5 columns, but there is no way we can make sense out of this data we have right here. But if we want to make any sense of this data, we just have to use this very vertical aspect of this scroll bar. So right now what you can see, we can actually see where we are having our maxes and where we're having our min sales right here, and how much is the profit. So we're actually trying to analyze the profit. So this is where the profit is coming from. If we want to go by, okay, if you want to see this by what, by city, you want to see it by region, by state, and how many transaction, the profit, and the percentage of the profit, and where the max is actually falling to. So we can scroll down, and it's actually going to change dynamically. So I'm just going to show you how to create this from the scratch. So let us see how we can actually go by that. If you are just hitting this very YouTube channel for the first time, you might really want to actually avail yourself the opportunity of subscribing to this channel, as we have a lot of videos to actually hit this channel. So we have over 100 videos right now to actually go around. So take a look at those videos and see how they can actually help you in your Excel data analytics. So going back to this particular file, so we're gonna hit on the right file right now, which is this particular blank file. So what we have right here is just the data, and now we're going to start to create this. So for the first time, just gotta go to insert, and we just need to insert a pivot table. So now our pivot table is inserted, so we just go right here and say existing worksheet, and I'm going to go to horizontal summary. So I need to use this particular aspect here, which is the cell. I'm going to click OK, and we just have our pivot table inserted, the first pivot table ever. So what we're going to be doing for the first time is just for we to actually make sure we have our date right on the raw level. So from Excel 2016, we have a 2016 upward, we always have our date grouped for us, so which is not really nice. So we just need to ungroup this, and after ungrouping this, what we need to do right now is to regroup this to our satisfaction. So I'm just going to right click and say group. So I want to group it by day, month, and year. So if I hit OK right here, then this is what I have. So I don't want the month, instead I want the year and the days. So right now I'm going to select this and take it across. So this is what I have, but what I just want to analyze this with is just the profits. We want to see the profit on a daily basis based on those year being selected. So now I'm done from here. I'm just gonna have it closed, but we have some kind of weird data right now. So how can we maintain this to be very cool with what we really want? So the first thing we're gonna do now is just for you to click right here. This readable, we want to actually make it to show here. So I'm just gonna click at the top level right here and go to design, and from design I'm just gonna make sure it's on a tabular form, and I'm going to turn off the grand total. So it's off. So right now I'm having something like this, but still our report is still weird. So what can we do to actually make it some kind of fantastic? So if you look at what we have right here, we are having empty spaces right here where we don't have data for 2018 and we don't have data for 2020 in this particular days. So what can we do to make sure we fill with something that is going to look very readable? So I'm just going to click anywhere and right click on it and go to what pivot table option. So once I get here, I'm just going to type from here, I'm just going to type no cells. So if I hit enter, this is what I have, but sometimes I don't really know what's going on. So if you look at this, no cells is going this way and the other one is going the other way. That is because we have this to be text and this one is just what? It's just numbers. I don't want to have zeros where we have no cells because I want it to communicate something. So I'm just going to highlight everything from this end and go to the top level, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hit my home and make sure I align it this way, and this time around I'm having it to be some kind of very pretty fine, though we are not going to read our data from here, but we still need to keep it very much fancy. So now that we have something like this, the next we're going to be doing now is for we to create our horizontal scroll bar. So we have this particular one here, so I'm just going to deselect this and take this off, and for the first time we just need to actually insert hours. So now I'm just going to go to the developer, and once I hit developer, I'm just going to see this insert. So on my other videos I've shown you how to activate this developer tab right here. So here is my horizontal scroll bar or form control. So I'm just going to click it and make sure I have it drop down here, so across horizontally. So now here we go. This is what is going to help us to control what we have, all those huge data we have. So if I right click on this, I'm just going to say form control, and here is a pop-up that is going to actually come up right now. So now here we go. So from here the current value should be 0 and the minimum value should be 1, and the maximum value should be 357. Why 357 is because we have data of 365 days, so we need to show 357, and here we need to actually give the cell link, and we're going to link it down here. And on a page change, we just want it to change by 5. So let me explain the page change for you. Now if we go by this, and I'm going to say okay, now if I click right here, I want to change by 1. This is exactly what we have right here, increment by 1. So decrease by 1 and increase by 1. But if those arrow were not being clicked, so I'm just going to click in here, it's going to be by 5. So I'm just going to show you a perfect example. So if I click on OK, that is exactly what I have. So right now is done. Now look at what we have right here. It's just 1. So if I go here, it's going to be 2. If I go here, it's going to be 3, 4 and 5. But right now if I click from here, it's going to be 10, 15, 20, 25 and 30. And if I come back here, it's going to be reducing by 5 every single time I make a change. It's exactly what I'm talking about. So the next thing again is for to get our data right here. How do we get this data right here? First of all, I'm just going to type my year. So my year, and my year is going to be equal to what we have right here. So this particular year 2017. So that is my year. So I'm just going to drag it down to fill down this particular aspect here. And the next thing I'm going to be doing now is for me to highlight this particular range. So now we're going to be using a function called offset. So if it is your first time to use offset, just stay tuned. You would understand how offset should be used and how you need to use offset. Okay, I'm just going to type equal to right here. Make sure you are highlighting the range where you want your data to cover. So I'm just going to type offset, and we can see offset is looking for reference. So let us go to where we want our data to be pulled from. So now what's the reference? Where do you want it to start from? Is from this particular year here. So let us say our starting point. And now what we have is this. If I have my comma right here, it's going to be asking me for the row. How many row do I want to move down or move up? I don't want to move any row up or down, so I just want to be static there. So right now the next thing is asking me for the column. So how many columns do you want to move, right or left or whatsoever? So right now this is going to be determined by my scroll numbers. So now here is this is a scroll. Every single time I make a scroll right here, I want it to actually move to a particular column. So right now we just need to provide it with this. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to make this absolute. So here is it. So I'm just gonna hit on my close, so I have the bracket closed. So right now don't just hit on Control, else it's not gonna work. So for you to do that, just hit on Control and enter, and here we go. Dynamically we have our data filled up for us, which is really working. Now if I go ahead and actually make a scroll, you can see everything is working so perfectly fine. Now can you see that? This is awesome. So now we just have this. This is the first thing we need to do to get it right here, and the next thing we need to do right now is for we to highlight right here and actually make sure we have a bar to be on it. So data bar, I'm just gonna go to my conditional formatting, and here we go. We need to choose the kind of color we really want for it. So I need something like this. So this is cool for it. So now you can see where we have no cells is actually giving us that indication of no cells, instead of we to have some kind of random zeros right here, just like this. I'm gonna hit it. Doesn't look fine for me, so I think I need to actually give an information to see the reason why we are having no value right here. Instead of that, we provide it with no cells. Okay, right now we need to get the total sales right here. So I'm just gonna say sum of this particular year. That is exactly what I want to get. So now for this year, we need to actually sum all of them together, and if I hit enter, it's gonna give us the figure that is attributed to every year. So right now here is what we have. So right now for percentage change, so what we need to do is just for it to come right here and make sure we select this particular okay, fine. So we get our total sales right here for this particular selection. So it's going to be sum, and we're going to sum all this together. So once we hit enter, this is what it's going to give to us right here. So right now if I make a scroll, it's going to change along with it. So right now here we don't have any value. The reason why we are not having value right here is because there is no sales for 2018, no sales for the date selected. Okay, right now what we need to do, we need to actually check for the percentage change right now. So what we need to do is just for we to say this divide by this. So if I hit enter, I'm going to be having 19.3. So but something weird is going to happen if I actually scroll down, and you can see it's dividing with nothing now because it's moving the cell down. Well, so I'm just going to click right here, make sure I highlight it and make it absolute. Can you see this? If I hit enter, so right now I'm going to copy down, and you're going to see the wonder is going to actually work fine now. So just hit and make sure you copy down. Now it's giving us the right percentage as we've locked this particular cell down right here. So right now it's 0.0% because we don't have any cells right here. And now what we need to actually get right now is the percentage change. So for the percentage change, what we need to do, we just need to say equal to this from this. It's going to give you the percentage change here. So now here we have it. So I'm just going to actually scroll down, and here we go. So right now you can see this from this and this from this. So right now if I actually make a scroll, it's going to actually respond to my scroll. This is exactly what it is. So right now for that, I'm just going to make sure I give some kind of conditional formatting right here. So watch me to give this kind of conditional formatting. So all we need to do is just to click on this particular type of conditional formatting, go to more rules, and make sure you select 3 color scale, and here we go. So I'm gonna have the lower one on red, and I'm just gonna make sure I provide it with this kind of color scale, and make sure the highest color the highest percentage is on green. If I select this, this is where I have. This is how I always make my things happen. So right now we've done this, we are almost there. Our report is about to get ready. So right now if you look at what we're going to be having right here, okay, fine. Right here we need to actually give the total, so the total of every single day. So what we need to do is just to make it once and copy it across. So we're just going to sum this together, so give us the total, and we just need to actually make sure we take this across, select this across right here, and here is the total. So for now we need to actually get the percentage of every single total. So what we need to do is just to actually divide this by this original total. So now we just need to do the same absolute cell locking. F4 will help you to do that. So right now, if you do this, I just need to actually still copy this across. Now this is exactly what we need to do. So we've just gotten this. So if I actually make a change, you can see it's actually having effect on every single part of it. So this is exactly what we've done. So the next thing is based on the percentage change. So we don't need to actually do anything right here. We need to leave that cell empty and start from this particular cell. So for the percentage change right now, I'm just going to say this equal to this minus subtracted from this particular one. So it's going to give you the percentage change to be minus 1.4 exactly. So if I actually take it across this way, this is what I'm going to have. So right now I've just gotten the percentage change for every single day, where we want it down and where we have it up. So right now I'm just going to actually give it this particular formatting. So it's very simple and easy. Just go right here and select the 3 scale. Okay, fine, just the 3 color scale is what I'm going to be selecting, and you always know how we go by the flow. So this is for the lowest, and for the medium I'm just gonna go by this color, and for the highest point, so we just go by this particular type of green. So if I hit enter, it's giving me that exactly. So we can see, we can spot where we are having it high and where we are having it low and stuff like that. So it's responding to our scroll and it's moving along with it. So right now this is where we're going to be having a very huge work right now. So let's see what we can do to have this done and to make it very much simple for us to understand. So what we're trying to do right here now is this. So right now we need to actually extract our max profit and mean profit. So right now we just need to get a percentage right here and make it much more dynamic. So I'm going to actually use the word max as a formula to be used. So I'm just going to extract it from this particular profit on our percentage. So if I hit enter, it's just going to give me my max. And here what I need to do right now is just to copy this and actually track it a little bit. So I'm just going to copy this and have it pasted right here. So instead of we to have max, what we need to have right here is actually the mean. So now we have the mean, so it's 0.6. So exactly. So now that we've just gotten this, the next we're going to be doing right now is this. So I'm just going to make sure I have it in the middle. So just go to home and centralize it. Okay, I'm just going to have it this way instead. So right now we need to actually make it dynamic. So we want to know where is this max coming from and where is the mean coming from. So now let me just show you what I'm trying to say right now. So I'm just going to say equal to index. Index is looking for the array, and the array is going to be this. So we want to spot which month do we have our max and mean. So if I hit and comma right now, it's going to be asking me for the raw number, and I'm going to provide match for it. And the match is going to be this right here because I need for the max. So now it's looking for the array. So the array is going to be from here down to here. And if I hit, I'm going to say exact match, I'm going to close it, and I hit enter, and I'm having it from to be January 13. So right now what I'm going to be doing is for me to copy this away from here. I'm just going to copy, and I'm going to come down here and say max profit. So it's going to be equal to, and I'm going to hit this as well. So give a space, and we're gonna concatenate this. So if I actually have to drop this right here, so it's giving me max profit is 13 February. So now if I change this, it's going to actually change. If there is any change of max profits, now it's on 20 February. So we're going to be doing the same thing to this particular one right here, so that it can actually look absolutely nice, so we know where our profit is coming from. So right now we can now see how dynamic it is. Every single time there is any change of percentage, and the year, the day of that particular, the day and month of the particular max is going to actually change dynamically, as what you can see right here. So it's going to change and it's show us the figure and stuff like that. This is how dynamic it is. So right now we want to actually get this done. Okay, we've extracted our mean and max yearly sales right here. As you can see, we extracted it from here, but right now we're just going to make a dynamic header for it. So what can we do is for we to actually come right here and hit on our index, just like what we've done previously. Let us make a recap. So we want to actually go by here. This is the index right here, and we're going to use match for the row number. So the match is going to be this particular match. We're actually trying to extract which year is having the max cells. So now if we go by comma, and we're just going to go for the array, and this is what we want to actually look for here. And if I go, I'm going to give it exact match, so we have it closed, and here we go. 2017 is where we are having our max cells. So here is it, 2017, and we have 23.7. This is how we can actually get it. So right now I can actually go ahead and actually copy this from here. So just copy this, just like what we've done previously. Copy this. So once we have it copied, we just can go and say equal to max profit. Okay, max profit. Just put dash and just put this and concatenate it with this and hit enter. Then max profit is 2017. So max profit 2017. Max year, we can actually decide to use max year once we know we're actually dealing with profits. We can say with year, so max year 2017. So this is exactly what we need to do for this as well. So here we go, we just have it dynamically right here. So if I go, it's actually going to change. So if I select one right here, you see everything will just update automatically. So right now we are having our max year is 2021, and the minimum year is 1.2 2020. Sorry, 2020 is for the max year, and the minimum year is this. So I'm just going to change this to mean. So we just need to go by mean. So if I have it, it's going to update. So if we just scroll through, you can see it's going to actually change dynamically. So right now we need to actually make sure we have this particular color scale actually back here, which is conditional formatting. Go here and we select this 3 of it. So now we're going to be using 2. So the 2 is going to be, so the 2, we're just going to go by this color for this, and for the highest color we just go by green. So it's cool, and I'm gonna go with this. So now here we go. So we need to actually change the color of the text to white. So we go by this. So if I actually select this, and I'm gonna have it here. So now it's exactly working. So this is what it is that we really want to create. So right now your report is almost ready to be actually submitted to your boss. If you look at it, it's going awesomely. And for you to make sure it's correct, you can actually verify this to see if this is 100%. So I'm just going to say sum. So this should be 100%. I'm going to click and actually, okay, it's 100% and it's really correct. So right now we need to actually chart this to make sure we are having the right we are making sure we give a very nice way to read this data. So just select it and make sure you go to insert, and from insert I'm just gonna go here and select recommended chart, and the kind of chart I might want to use now is this kind of chart right here, and we select this, and here we go. So if I actually bring it down here, I'm gonna make sure I have it spread out. I have it spread out. So take it down a little bit and make sure I take it up. So right now we have something nicely like this, and we can actually make sure, so for we to read this nicely, so we can actually crank it up, hit on this and make sure you, so exactly. So now we can see our chart nicely. So we just need to remove the grid line, so we don't need it. And for the chart, you can actually update your chart and say the summary of data summary, just data summary from 2017 to 2021. So here we go, data summary from 2017 to 2021. So just give it anything you like. So you can actually double click inside it and make sure you bring up this one here, and when you do that, you just can actually go ahead and do whatever you want to do with this. So make sure you make it bigger than what you're saying right now. Exactly, we have something like this, and you can go ahead and choose a very nice color for it, not color scheme. So come to the color scheme right here, and if we want to go by any of this, now this is cool. I think I prefer something like this so that it can align with my color pattern right here. So right now if I make a selection, it's going to get itself updated as well. So if I go and select from the inception, which is January 1st, now we are having 1 week data, week 1, week 2, sorry, day 1, day 2 to day 7 right here. And you can see in 2017 this is what we have, but we did better in 2017 right here compared to this particular one right here. So in 2017 and 2018 we did better here than any of this particular days. So we can read this data the way it should be read. This is how awesome this could be. How about this? Did you draw any insight from here? Now we have this data right here that we cannot really read what is going on. From this kind of data we transform it to this very readable data using horizontal scroll bar. So right now let us see what we can do with vertical scroll bar. So to do that, just go to your data and actually go to insert and insert a pivot table right now, and let us create our vertical scroll bar. So I'm going to go to existing because already I have a sheet down here, and we're going to select this particular aspect here, and I'm going to hit enter. So what I'm going to be getting now is I'm just going to get the country. For the first time we just need to locate where the country is. Just go for the country. We have country on it, of course. Okay, we have region, we have state, and we should be having country here. I'm going to search my country. Just go on search. So category is customer category. Okay, what we need is city, so we just go back and actually pick city. Have I taken my city in? So city is not here. I'm going to say city. Oh no, excuse me, I just need to bring my city right. So here is our city, so we're just going to drop our city right here. So but some kind of weird, right? It's not really what you are thinking, but don't worry, we can actually get this settled. So I'm just going to bring my order ID. So I'm just going to bring my order ID right here. So what my order ID is going to be doing is just going to give me transactions. So I'm just going to say numbers of transaction. So make sure it's this. Okay, fine, that is numbers of transaction. So it's counting how many transactions we are having from a particular aspect. So right now we're just going to bring our profit because we're analyzing profit right here. So here comes our profit. So our profit is not going to be coming to this aspect, so just going to come right here. So now we're having our profit and count, so we're just going to take it away from count to normal sum. So exactly this is what we have. So right now we need to actually split out what it is. So right now we just go to the top level and make sure we select design, and from design we're just going to say show in tabular form, and right now we want to turn off any grand total, and we want to actually turn off subtotal, do not show subtotal. So let's see what we have right now. So if you look at what we have now, here we go. So we need to turn this around from city to region to state. So right now we're just going to say city, region, and state. So now we have city, region, and state. So this is exactly what we want. So now that we have city, region, and state, so you can see some aspect is actually empty. So we want to fill it up with some kind of data. And what kind of data do we want to fill up right on those particular empty cells right here? So all you need to do is just to click at the top side and go to report. Okay, when you go to report, just say repeat all labels. So right now it's going to actually fill it up with the rest. So right now we are having the same city right here, and if we just select, you can see what we are having. So we have it to be in central region, so we have Indiana and we have Texas. So now can you see what I'm talking about? So right now we can see what it is, so you can read this data yourself. So right now we've just gotten this right here, but this is not something we can read. We can't read through this data. We just need to create a horizontal, vertical way of showing this data right now, which is very simple and easy. So all we just gotta do is just select the aspect where we want to have this done. So select right here, and this is gonna be different from what we've done previously. If you think it's the same thing, I bet you it's not the same thing. But before we do this, all we just gotta do is to bring our scroll bar right here, which is the vertical scroll bar. Click on this and go to insert, and here we go. And the vertical aspect is just the way it's being actually laid down. So now here we have the vertical aspect of it. So I'm just going to right click and make sure I select this and have this here. So the current value is going to be 0, the minimum value here is going to be 1, and we're going to make this one to be 596. That is because we have over 600 rows of data right here. So I'm going to make this 596, and the increment change is going to be 1, and when we say page change, we're just going to make it just 5. Okay, 5. We have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, so we might really want to bring a new data in, so we can actually use 7, so that whatever data you see right here, when you actually scroll within the page, it's going to give you a new set of data automatically. So we might really want to use that kind of way. So I'm just going to select here and link it, which you've done before. So if I click on OK, this is what it is. So if I select right here now, it's going to show me 8 of it. So just let it boot. So right now we have our scroll bar right here. So what we need to do right now is for we to actually get to play with this particular function I call index. So I'm just going to say equal to, after you highlighted it, just say index. And what is index looking for? Index is looking for the array. The array is what index is looking for. But sometimes I might just try as much as I could not to go back to the same sheet and select again. Instead, I will select from here. I'll just select and I'll go to where I have my data in. So right now what I'm going to do is just to select from here and down to this particular aspect, and Control Shift will take me down, and I'm going to go beyond this if you think you're going to have your data to be some kind of growing every single time. You can select beyond this. So right now I'm just going to come right here and say vertical underscore data range. So vertical underscore data range. So that is nice. So now we can actually come back right here, and what we need to do right now, we can select from here, and now we can say equal to index, and what the index is looking for is the array. The array is what we've just created. So I'm just going to say vertical, so vertical underscore data range. So now if I hit my comma, it's going to be asking me for the row number. This is where it gets tough. Now what do you think is the row number? The row number is just going to be what is coming out from this very vertical scroll right here. So I'm just going to provide this row number, and I just have to make it some kind of absolute right here, and here we go. So we need to actually make something very, very meaningful right here. So the next thing now is this. So we actually need to give it, provide it with rows. So we just make sure we have plus right here. What plus is doing is this, because we just want to copy down, so we need to actually say plus rows. So plus rows right here, and it's going to be looking for the array. So the array is just going to be this particular row right here. So I just need to say 6 to 6, and I'm just going to have it closed, and we just want to log our 466, make it some kind of absolute right here. Yeah, okay, if I go this way, I'm going to say -1. So hit your comma, it's going to be asking for the column. So we want to copy this across, but we don't want to do the copying because already we have it highlighted. So once we hit on control, it actually gets itself defaulted to all of the cells. So right now I'm just going to say columns. So this is the columns, and the column is going to be starting from here, and 66 to 66. If I have it closed right now, I'm just going to make the 466 absolute by having it locked down. Your F4 will help you do that. So right now if I hit my control and I hit enter, okay, right now the reason why it's actually throwing this error is because I need to have closed this particular aspect right here, but I'm just going to say okay to it, and here we go, we have something like this. Okay, now we are having errors right here because we don't ought to have this. Make sure we selected this aspect, so we don't have data to that extent. So now this is what I really have. I can actually go ahead and make sure I actually make it some kind of awesomely, go back to home, and here we go. So nicely, so we can actually select the top level right here, so, and so we expand it. So that is exactly what we need to do. So right now, can you see this? So if we go to scroll, it's actually responding. It's responding. So we have this. So we can see in this particular region right, this particular city right here. So this is the region, it's on central, and here we go. And if we look at this, let me just show you something that is very fantastic that you need to know about. So I wish I could. Okay, no, we need to, yeah, now we have this particular, we need to say city where we have the same city coming up, and we want to share some difference and what is going on right in that city. So I just want to make sure I don't really see any symptom, any city like that. So we have south from, okay, like this. Now we have south region, and south region, those are the cities, and those are the cities right here, and those are the states from the south region, and this is the transaction come from that environment, and those are the profit we made, and we want to actually go by the profit change, the profit percentage and profit change. And now this is where the work is. So for percentage of every single profit, what we need to do is just to say equal to this, and we're going to divide this by what? We're going to divide this by this, and what we need to do is just to make this one absolute so that we can actually copy it down in paste without encountering any error. So now we just need to have this. So sorry, we have some kind of error right here. Okay, fine, I hit enter, and if I have this copied down, this is what I'm gonna have. So now for the percentage change, so what we need to do is just to say the former minus the later. So we just have our percentage change right now. So 3% is the changes, and I'm just gonna copy down. So this is exactly what we need to do to have this done nicely. So right now we need to actually extract the max right here, but it's gonna be a little bit different than what we've done previously. Let's see what we can do to have this indicator right here. So for now, to extract the max right here, what we need to do right now is just for we to say equal to if this is equal to max. So if this is equal to max, we're going to highlight everything from here and make it some kind of absolute. So your F4 will actually help you do that dynamically. So absolute, if that is equal to max, we have it closed, and if it's true, just give us this. And actually we need to concatenate this. We're gonna say that, okay, max, sorry, we need to actually use this. We're gonna say max profit. So max profit, and we just need to close it right here. So if it is not, we need to actually want you to give us just blank. So once we hit enter, it's giving us a blank right now. So what we need to do right now is just for we to actually double click, and here we have our max, and we're gonna have our min right here. So before we actually go ahead and do something different, we need to actually make sure we have a dollar sign or the currency sign right here. So what we need to do, we need to actually figure out which particular cell is carrying that. So we need to use text function. So text function is going to actually help us to do that. So right now we need to actually have comma right here, and after the comma what we need to have is double quotation mark. So I'm just going to say my dollar sign, then hash, comma, hash, hash, and this double quotation is being closed, and here we have it closed, and we hit enter. So which means it's very correct. So we need to actually drag this down. Exactly, we have something like this. So the next we're going to do right now is just for we to copy this away from here. So once we have it copied, it's very simple and easy to be transformed. I'm just going to actually ask if this is mean. So have it like that, and I'm just going to say copy down, and you can see where we have our mean and max. Can you see how beautiful this could look like? So every single time we make a selection, it changes dynamically, and if you go ahead and trace the changes, you're going to see that we are having our mean cells right here. We can actually go ahead and put a data bar right here. Just go to condition of Martin and make sure you're selecting the right one. I'm just going to go with this. So we have the minimum right here, so we don't need to read too much about this, and we just need to like, oh, this is where it is, we figured it out. So can you see that? So this is how beautiful this could actually go. I'm just gonna make sure I select down, so it's giving us this right one. So now this is how beautiful this could be. So if you are just new to my YouTube channel, you know what to do. It's just for you to hit the subscribe button, as we are going to be doing a lot of things that is going to actually interest you. Hit subscribe button right now, and let us go with the flow by creating a lot of analytics around your data. and helping you to learn how data should be used and how you can actually avail yourself the opportunity of becoming a master in data analytics using Excel and some other tools we're gonna be actually introducing on this very channel right here. So today we've actually learned about vertical and horizontal scrolling in Excel. So it's very awesome. I want to say thank you very much for watching to this extent. It's a very big privilege for me to have you right here. So today is awesome, and I believe it's gonna look so much awesome, and you've learned a lot of things right here. So actually make sure you implement this in your office on any data you're actually working with. If it is too huge, make sure you break it down just like what we have right here, then you have a good analytics. So thanks for watching. Stay blessed, stay cool, and stay out of trouble.